母親に似て心の優しい君なのに。だが今日で最後だ。もう。
チャンネル登録していい。
Car D Kaizoku.
So if you like what I do and want to support me, consider backing me on Patreon, and even just sharing my content around or recommending my channel to people really helps, so I really appreciate it. Thank you! This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. This video is sponsored by Sleeve Chief. Use code CARDKAIZOKU for 5% off your order. All of this is out now on their website. Alright, in today's video, we're gonna get caught up on all the OP10 leaks. I have One Piece top decks open here. They have like a page dedicated to leaks for OP10. I've been making like custom graphics for each reveal so far, but yeah, I think I'll just use this webpage for now on since it has the same information, right? And I think it's a little easier to navigate. So it looks like they did reveal all the alt arts for all the leaders. Oh, interesting. Do you want to look at these first? Let's take a look at them individually. So we have the green yellow law leader. Why he looking at me like that though? I like the art, but why he looking at me like that though? He's got me feeling a certain way. But yeah, I like it. Up next, in no particular order, it's pudding, red purple pudding. I don't know, just I know it's not an anime screenshot, but it's drawn like it is, so I'm kind of meh on it. And then up next we have yellow kid, piss kid. I actually really like the pose in this alt art for the leader. And yeah, to be honest, I really like this art style too, right? It really fits like kid's aesthetic and his attitude really well, I feel. So kudos to the artist for this one. And then we've got blue black Usopp. This one, I feel like it's drawn by the same person who did the pudding, right? It looks more like anime-ish, but yeah, it's not bad, but I think it's just not my personal preference. And I'm sure there's people who are gonna like it more than like the like this piss kid style, but I like this piss kid, so just could be a subjective thing. Then we have the Caesar, red blue Caesar leader, alternate leader. He's really menacing here. I really like the color scheme on this. This makes me feel like it's a card from Magic, like a Is It guild card, the red blue guild. And then lastly we have Tashigi, oh, Smoker actually, technically. Spoilers. Red green Smoker. The pose, I don't know, something about this makes me not like it. It might be the pose. And the background's kind of boring too, it's just like gray. I wish it was more like red and green kind of themed, like this Caesar, I feel encapsulates red and blue, because purple, you know, red and blue make purple. But yeah, that's it for the alt art leaders. Let's take a look at some of the characters that they revealed. So up first here we have Doflamingo, 8 cost, 9k power, purple, no counter. One of the SRs for the set. I'm gonna assume it's a sugar card. Wait, did I call sugar pudding earlier? I mean sugar, sorry. I'll have to edit that in post. Okay, so what does Doflamingo do? On play Dawn -1, you can play up to 1 5 cost or lower Don Quixote Pirates type character card from your hand. Then on your opponent's attack, you may rest one of your Dawn, add up to 1 active Dawn from your Dawn deck. Okay, so it has a ramp effect when your opponent attacks if you have an active Dawn already, which is what the sugar does, right? Let me bring sugar back up. So sugar, at the end of your turn, if you have a character with the Don Quixote Pirates type out, the power 6,000 or more, you set up to one of your Dawn is active. Then on your opponent's turn, once per turn, when you activate an event, you can ramp 1 Dawn. Got it. So yeah, this character is 6,000 power or more Don Quixote Pirates, so having this out means at the end of your turn, you have an active Dawn, and then if your opponent attacks you, you can rest that Dawn and ramp 1, so you go to 10, right? Because you get 1 Dawn from this, and then you get 1 Dawn from... Oh no, this is an event. So you go to 9. Is there a point to that? Because you're already at 8 anyway, going to 10 next turn. I'm guessing there's some strong events that make you minus a lot of Dawn in that case. Otherwise, like, what's the point of this? But yeah, the on-play sounds pretty good, right? It's kind of like Luffy Taro from the new Purple Luffy starter deck. You're cheating out a 5-drop, and then there are some good ones in the Don Quixote Pirates type to pick from, right? There's Diamante, who's a blocker, 5 cost 6k power, and then he can also untap himself if you have 2 active Dawn at the end of your turn with 1 Dawn attached to him. That's a little kind of hard to do, but there's also the Doflamingo from OP10, who's also a blocker. And yeah, he can also untap himself if you have 2 other rested characters, so I think these are 2 pretty solid options to cheat out with this Doflamingo. But Sugar is not green, so she doesn't have access to Diamante or that blocker Doflamingo. So to be honest, green-purple Doflamingo might benefit from this 8 cost Doflamingo a lot better, unless they print something else better. I think there's like a senior pink too, right? Let me scroll to it. Let me go out of order a little bit. Yeah, here he is, senior pink, 5 cost 6k power, no counter. On play Dawn -1, you can add up to 1 purple event card with the cost of 5 or less from your trash to your hand, then set up to one of your Dawn is active. So he does give you 2 Dawn, right? 1 Dawn from him and then 1 Dawn from the sugar active. for your opponent's turn if you need to use it for events. I guess this really depends on what kind of counter events there are, because at the moment there's only one, right? It's like a 1-cost searcher event. Here it is. I can never forgive anyone who laughs at my family. So on main or counter, you can look at the top 3, reveal a Don Quixote Pirates type card, add to your hand. So yeah, this at best just finds you a 2k to defend with at the moment. It doesn't really like do anything else combat wise. But if we're judging Doflamingo just on his own, yeah, just being able to play like one of these blockers out, I think is good, right? It's similar to value to Luffy Taro cheating out like a Sangoro. Is that like purple's gimmick now? Dawn -1 to cheat out another character. That seems like a good effect in purple. So yeah, I think I'm hopeful for this guy. Up next we have Zoro. So 4-cost 6k power, no counter on play. You can rest up to one of your Dressrosa type leaders or stages. K up to one of your opponent's 4-cost or lower characters. Then place the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash. Whoa, that's really good. He's a 4-drop that kills a 4-drop. That's amazing. And yeah, the Dressrosa leaders is like Rebecca and then Usopp. That's going to be coming out in OP10 itself. This is probably an auto include in both of the decks, especially in Rebecca because Rebecca can't attack anyway. So resting the leader is no big deal here. Usopp, you could forgo not attacking with your leader to use the Zoro effect. I think that's well worth it. And then, yeah, both decks can run Corrida Coliseum, which is a Dressrosa type stage that gives your Dressrosa type characters like Pseudo Rush. They can attack the turn that they're played, but only at other characters. So yeah, just Zoro, just being able to tap this stage too is also great. If you can get this on your first turn or your second turn, if you're going odds. And then yeah, with Corrida Coliseum, the Zoro can attack too the turn that you play him. So he kills a 4-drop, and then if he has anything else on board that's rested, you can attack. That's really good, actually. Oh, and he's a 4-drop too, so that means like this asshole is really good for him. Gecko Moria can bring back a Zoro, and you can pop a 4-drop. I think this increases the power level of Rebecca and Usopp quite a lot. Right, they're the only decks that can have access to a 4-drop popper. And then with Gecko, if you bring back like a Sudo or Helmeppo, you can kill like a 6 or 7-cost character. That seems like insanely busted. What the heck? There's also that Rebecca too, the 7-cost Rebecca. On play if Rebecca is an 8-cost, so it's only usable in the Usopp deck. But yeah, you can reveal 2 7-drops or lower Dressrosa type characters from your hand other than a Rebecca, and then you can play both of them out if one of them is a 4-cost or lower, right? So the other one can be 7 or lower. In which case, yeah, you can technically play 2 Zoros this way. You have to be able to rest your leader and then the Dressrosa stage though, but you can KO 2 4-drops this way with the 1 Rebecca. What the heck? That sounds really good. I'm hopeful for this guy. Why does Black get all the cool cards? And he's Dressrosa, Straw Hat, and Supernova. What the heck? This might be the money card of the set. I don't know. We'll have to see. This is only the second card. Okay, there's also a green event whose name is obscured, so we don't know. It's 4-cost event that on main you can rest up to one of your opponent's 6-cost or lower characters, then KO up to one of your opponent's rested 5-cost or lower characters. Oh, so essentially you kill a 5-cost this way, or you could split up the effects and rest a 6-cost and then KO a different 5-cost. But yeah, green never had an effect like this, right? All their effects were only like resting or only KOing separately. This one does both, so I like that. It's like a jet pistol in green. Finally, it might be too late. It might be too slow now. It would have been great like 5 sets ago, but yeah. But it is still like a KO option in green now, right? You can get rid of your opponent's Basil Hawkins this way. Oh, no, you can't. Basil Hawkins is 6-cost. You have to give it -1 cost somehow, so maybe like a Isho can utilize this a lot better. Or Perona too, right? Green-black Perona can cost reduce. Yeah, this actually might be a really good card in Perona. Yeah, on trigger it rests a 4-cost too. Interesting. Up next we have, a secret rare for this set. Okay, so it's a yellow Trafalgar Law character. Let's see if he's for the Kid deck or the Law deck. Probably the Law deck, right? So on play, reveal a Supernova type character from your hand and add it to the top of your life face down. Okay, so you heal one, essentially. Then if your leader has a Supernova's type, give up to 1 rested Dawn to your leader. I do believe this is for Law, right? What does Law do again? So Dawn times 1, that's what that attach 1 rested Dawn to your leader is supposed to give you access to, I guess. So let's see what it does. Activate may once return. If the total cost of your characters is 5 or more, you can return one of your characters to the hand. Reveal the top card of your life, and then if that card is a Supernova type character with the cost of 5 or less, you can play it. Oh, okay, yeah, it is. Right, because not only do you get to pick which Supernova from your hand goes on your life, it goes face down too, so you can reveal it to be able to play it. And yeah, it gives a Dawn to your leader to activate it. So it's essentially a 7 Dawn, play 2 characters out, which is Luffy Taro, right? Another Luffy Taro effect, but now in yellow. And yeah, the good targets for this would be like stuff like Bonnie. Bonnie's one possible target that you can pick. It just freezes one of your opponent's characters. That's going to be useful. Or even freezes one of their Dawn to throw off their curve. Then yeah, Cavendish is great too, right? You get 2 more Dawn to use for your turn if you play him out because he untaps 2 Dawn for you. So you swing with your leader for 8 or something. So yeah, I think I mentioned in my other video of my first like OP10 reveals that they need a card that heals you. for this effect to be good for this leader, and it looks like they're printing that out in the secret rare of the set. It's really strong, but it's like so specific for green yellow law that I'm kind of disappointed. I wish it was more generic. I guess technically you don't need to play it in yellow green law only. You could just use it to heal yourself in any other yellow deck. But so far the only yellow supernova that they have printed that is 5 costs or lower is like a Basil Hawkins, which we'll go over later, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, yeah, a little disappointed that this is a secret rare for the set. I would have rather much this have been like the SR for yellow green law, and then have the secret rare be like a more generic kind of effect, right? Because the second part only works if you're a supernova type leader too. I guess technically he works with Piss Kid too, right? Because yeah, at the end of your turn you can reveal the top card of your life cards, and then you can set up to one of your 3 to 8 cost characters with the supernova type as active, and they gain blocker. So yeah, he puts the card on top for you to reveal. So if your top life card is already revealed from the last turn and they didn't manage to make you take life, this Law can give you a face down card to reveal to turn himself into a blocker, a 9k blocker, right? That seems pretty good. So yeah, it works in both Kid and Law. Does that make it justifiable to be a secret rare? No, I still think it's too like restrictive, but that's just my design philosophy, I guess. Let's go over the other one. Let's see, yeah, the other secret rare of the set, Monkey D. Luffy. He looking like he wants to hug you, or Kamehameha. So 6 cost, 7k power, 1k counter. Interesting, he has counter. So once per turn, this character cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects. And then when attacking, you can place 3 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Then if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. Whoa, what do I think of this? I think he's good just for the immunity to KO once per turn, right? That makes him like a black counter, but he's a black card himself, so it's going to be essential in the black mirror, like a tech card, maybe at least a 2 of. And yeah, just having a 7k stat line means that it's hitting that magic number, and then he has counter too, so he's never like a dead card. It's not as punishing to run him if you don't need him, so I do think this is a good card. It's not super impactful though for a secret rare, but yeah, it is a really solid card, I can't deny that. And then when attacking, if you have the cards to spare to return, you can make your opponent discard a card. I think that's good too, right? Because not only do they have to expend like 2 cards to counter a 7k, they have to discard another card on top of that. And this discard happens before they have to counter the 7k, so yeah, it'll like give them less options to defend with. So it's kind of an aggro card in that way. And yeah, this card can be played out by that Rebecca that we mentioned earlier, this one. And it does get that pseudo rush because it's a Dressrosa type character too from Corrida Coliseum. In fact, you can even use this card in like starter deck 14 Luffy, just in the mirror, right? Having a Luffy out that your opponent can't remove as easily. They have to remove him twice essentially. But yeah, I like it, but a little underwhelmed by both. They help the decks that they're designed for, but that's kind of it. Meanwhile, stuff like Katakuri and cards like that and Zoro can be used in like generically any deck. But yeah, let's move on. Oh, there's another Odyssey type character here in Newgate. The 5 cost 6k. On play, if you have 2 or more characters, rest up to one of your opponent's 5 cost or less characters, and then KO to one of your opponent's rest at 3 cost or less. I mean, there is cost reduction in purple for Lim, but it's not great. So maybe this card might be better in like a Perona deck, because you do have access to better black cost reduction to KO at 3 cost. But yeah, I don't think this saves Lim, but it's a nice option, right? Just being able to rest a 5 cost might be relevant on play too. Dragon number 13. I thought this was like a magic card. Isn't there like some like flying rush 4 toughness 4 power like dragon card that looks like this? Ooh, Caesar's Soldier. So there's some Caesar support too. So on play up to 1 Punk Hazard type character with the cost of 2 or less from your hand. Okay, so it's just a way to cheat out characters. I don't think Caesar is like a go wide weenie deck, but you do need weenies to activate the KO portion of his leader effect, because yeah, you need to like attach 2 down to your leader and then return a Punk Hazard type character with the cost of 2 or more to your hand to KO a 4k power. So the Caesar Soldiers lets you have like 2 things out that you could potentially return, and then buys you some insurance against your opponent's removal too. If they kill one of your 2 drops, you have another one out. Oh yeah, here's the Basil Hawkins I mentioned earlier. So yeah, yellow, 4 cost, 5k power, 1k counter. And then on KO, you trash out the 1 card from the top of your opponent's life, and then on trigger, you draw 2 cards and discard a card from your hand. So great as a trigger, great as a character, 4 cost, 5k. And then this on KO effect means that your opponent never wants to kill Basil Hawkins, because they'll just lose a life if they do. They have to wait until they're at 0 life before they even like try to attack into him. And the synergy with Piss Kid, do you guys mind if I call him Piss Kid? Maybe I should just say Yellow Kid, or else people get mad. But I don't know, even though I'm calling him Piss Kid, I want to play Piss Kid, so it's not like a negative thing. Okay, so yeah, this kid can turn this Basil Hawkins into a blocker on your 4 on turn, right? You play out the Basil Hawkins, and then at the end of your turn, Kid reveals top part of his life, turns Hawkins into a blocker. Your opponent basically can't attack. Even if they wanted to ping you for 5k, you could just block with the Hawkins, make them take a life. But yeah, If they don't attack you and it's your next turn, your life is still face up at this point, so you can't make them into a blocker again with the kid. But that's fine, because you can just ping with this guy for 5k every turn after that, and they won't like touch him unless they have an effect that can trash him without making him get KO'd, or like bouncing him too, that works. But yeah, this Hawkins, like, it's kind of like Lucky Roo for Shanks, this guy, right? Because he's a blocker, and then if they attack and Lucky Roo dies, he can KO a 6k. This is sort of like that, but makes your opponent take a life. It trashes it, right? It doesn't go to their hand. That's really devastating. So this is one of the stronger cards in the Yellow Kid deck. And speaking of strong cards in Yellow Kid, there's an 8-cost boss monster for the Kid deck, SR. The 8-cost 9k power on play, you can rest this character, and that makes your opponent trash the top card of their life. So yeah, just trashing life is really, really strong. I tried this out for fun on the sim, because some of these cards are out early. This is a strong effect. You're denying cards for your opponent to be able to utilize, right? Because they can't counter, or they can't get like a trigger off of those cards that get trashed. And then at the end of your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, you can cycle 1 card, draw 1, and discard 1. And yeah, him being a 9k means that like it's hard for him to be attacked into, even though you're resting him. And then yeah, every turn after that, he's a 9k swing at your opponent, who has less cards to counter with because you're making them trash it. And especially in a Kid deck, you turn him into a blocker. He's a 9k blocker at the end of the turn. It essentially protects you like crazy well. And the gameplay loop that I started seeing was that, yeah, you develop the Kid, you tap him, you make your opponent lose a life, and then after that, you'll start playing cards like Ace, because it's your 10 Dawn turn, right? It was 8 previously, 10 now. You'll heal a life. If you have Rush on him, that's even better. You can attack for 10. And that makes it so that the top card of your life is face down again, which lets you turn this Kid into a blocker again. So you can attack for 9, and then Kid will untap him and make him a blocker. So you're protected while also like dealing like really big damage on your opponent, as long as you can keep healing every turn. And yeah, that gameplay loop just felt like really strong in a Kid deck. It's a kind of new way to play Yellow that I'm really excited to see it fleshed out with the rest of the support for this Kid deck in OP10. There's also Damned Punk Electromagnetic Cannon. It's just a 4-drop event in Yellow. That it's kind of like a Jet Pistol in Yellow too, right? You look at the top card of your opponent's life cards and you can move it to the top or bottom, and then you KO to one of your opponent's 5-cost or less characters. So yeah, it's always great to have. This Shiryu is kind of interesting too for the Blackbeard Pirate deck. So 4-cost 5k, 1k counter, standard stat line for that kind of effect. For this kind of effect, I mean. So during your opponent's turn, this character gets plus 2k power, so he's a 7k on your opponent's turn. If he's rested, it's really hard for your opponent to like attack into him. Then activate main if this is the turn that this card was played. If your leader has Blackbeard Pirates, key up to one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 3 or less. Oh, so original cost, so it doesn't even matter if you cost reduce it. So he's just there to like kill chump blockers. Yeah, I thought he was a lot better than that, but once I saw that it was original cost of 3 or less, that made it seem not as good, because the cost reduction in black doesn't really benefit this card as much. And there's a Tashigi character here, 3-cost 4k power, 1k 2k counter. So yeah, you're gonna run this card regardless. When your green characters other than Tashigi would be removed due to an opponent's effect, you can rest this character instead. Oh, so it's kind of like a Rosinante. What set's he from? OP10 Rosinante. He's a 2-cost blocker, and then on your opponent's turn, if one of your rested characters would be KO'd, you can trash this character instead to save it. I think this Tashigi is more flexible in that it doesn't have to be rested, it just has to be a green character. And then it's removed from play due to an opponent's effect, so this could be bounce, trash, or KO. So it saves more than the Rosinante. Rosinante only works on the opponent's KO. And then Rosinante trashes himself, Tashigi just rests herself, so you get to keep Tashigi on board. Tashigi eats up an attack unless your opponent wants to let Tashigi live to do this again the turn after. And yeah, at the end of the day too, if you don't need it for that effect, choose a 2k counter. So I like this actually. It's just not a blocker though, so you lose quite a bit of utility from that. That's one of the strong things about Rosinante. Oh, there's a Smoker character too, the SR for the deck. So 5-cost 7k banish, activate main setup to active one of your Dawn. Okay, so you untap a Dawn. Then you can't set Dawn cards active by using character's effect during this turn. What did Smoker do again? So on your opponent's turn, your characters with the Navy or Punk Hazard type gain plus 1000 power. So it's a 5-cost 8k on your opponent's turn with banish though. I wish it was blocker, that seems like it would fit better for this kind of effect. Then once per turn, if you have a character with 7000 power or more set up to 2 Dawn is active. That's an activate main effect. So yeah, 7k power, you play it for 5. You can untap a Dawn with this Smoker character and then 2 Dawn with the Smoker leader. So you have 3 active Dawn to work with. Is that good? I don't know. I guess yeah, you can swing with your leader for 8 after that, or play a 3-drop. I don't know if banish is that great on this kind of a character, right? Because you want them to be able to live and then be able to attack the turn after to get value out of this banish. If this Smoker had some kind of evasion, that would make it a lot better, or if it was a blocker too, I think that would be better. I'm not convinced. Actually, does this... I don't know if this is a translation error, but it says it locks out characters, other characters from untapping Dawn, so that means your leader can still activate, right? Actually, let me just read the Japanese. Okay, Kido main, activate main, Jibun no tan, ichimai made o. On your own turn, one of your Dawn, active ni suru. Okay, so you're gonna tap a Dawn. Sono go, jibun wa kono tan chu. Okay, on your turn, Kyara no kouka de don o active ni dekinai. Yeah, specifically only characters. Character effects cannot untap any more Dawn. Specifically. So leader, still okay. If my Japanese was correct. Could be incorrect, I don't know. You can tell from that, the level of my Japanese, so we'll have to have an actual Japanese speaker verify that. But yeah, I'm not really too impressed with the smoker character. Oh, there's another SR here, Sanji in Nami's body, spoilers. 3 costs, 3k power, 1k counter. On your turn, this character gets plus 3000 power, and then on KO, draw a card. Okay, so 3 costs, 6k power, that sounds good. And then in a Zoro deck, it's a 7k. It doesn't have rush though, so you do have to have the character live. And even if they die, you do replace it, but then you're wasting 3 Dawn for it to just replace itself. I don't know. I kind of wish I had rush, but maybe that would be too strong. No, but you have Kid and Killer, 4 cost 7k, right? Why can't they give us a 3 cost 6k then? Right, it's only on your turn too, so on your opponent's turn, Sanji goes back to being a 3k. So I felt like that would be okay, if they're okay with Kid and Killer existing. And then, is this for the Caesar deck? I don't think so, because Caesar wants to bounce this back to hand. Right, so if it had rush, that would make sense. You could attack with it, bounce it back to hand, and then KO something with Caesar. But you'd have to wait a turn to get any value out of this Sanji. And then I don't think it fits in a chopper deck because it's not an animal, right? It only gets hit by the Straw Hat Searchers. And then a Zoro deck who also runs the animal package. Yeah, I don't know where this fits in the grand scheme of things. Kind of disappointing for an SR, isn't it? I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want this character to be good, but I can't think of a way to use it currently. Maybe there's other cards later on revealed that will make this make sense. I do believe that's it. Yeah, I think I went through all the reveals so far that I was interested in. So yeah, I'm liking some of the things in this set. I think Yellow Kid might be the standout leader from this set. I'm gonna make that call now. Maybe it's too early, I don't know. Maybe I should wait for more information, but my gut feeling, Yellow Kid seems to be getting pretty good support. His gameplay loop and the way his deck plays is pretty good, I feel. So that's gonna be my prediction for OP10. For now, it could change. Don't let that be a concrete thing. Because yeah, they haven't revealed the entirety of his support just yet. Interested to see how Usopp will turn out, because I do like that Zoro card. Where is he at? This one? I think this is a really good removal card. So we'll see how that pans out. Law might be interesting too with this secret rare. But yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the other leaders I don't think are going to be too great. Right? Sugar and Caesar, Clown, and Smoker. So far, kind of underwhelming. Could be redeemed by the end of the spoiler reveal period when more support is revealed that makes them actually strong. But for now, they don't look like they're going to be meta at all, in my opinion at least. So hopeful for Kid and Law at the moment, and Usopp. I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'll just end this video before I say that a third time. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of these new reveals, and then I'll do another one of these when a new big batch of reveals come out. And then if you like this kind of video, let me know. Or if you want me to, if you have any suggestions on like what would be great to talk about in these kind of videos too, let me know that too. Open to feedback. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate a subscription from you. And thanks for watching, and bye.
Car D Kaizoku.